it. He understands it. And then he says in the other hadith, فَتَجَلَّى لِي فَتَجَلَّى لِي كُلُّ شَيْءٍ وَعَرَفْتُ. So thus I saw everything was exposed to me, and I recognized them. Okay, that is one point, I recognize it. But what can you do in the matter? Can you interfere with it? Let me give you an example. Hafiz al-Hadith, Amir al-Mu'mineen fil Hadith. In fact, this is a very higher state. Amir al-Mu'mineen, you know what is authority? Amir al-Mu'mineen, the Amir, the leader of the Mu'min, that is the exalted and eminent, illustrious Khalifas of Islam. Right? Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, Amir al-Mu'mineen. You get an Amir al-Mu'mineen fil Hadith. You get an authority, such high ranking authority on Hadith. Whatever they say is authority. Whatever they say about Hadith, it is taken for granted. There is no objection to it. Such is his status. He is an Amir al-Mu'mineen fil Hadith. That's very high authority, right? Imam al-Muhaddisi, his word cannot be challenged. Amir al-Mu'mineen fil Hadith, Sayyidina Imam Abdullah ibn Mubarak radiyallahu ta'ala. Who? Imam Abdullah ibn Mubarak. You must learn these names and keep it. Keep it in your memory. Amir al-Mu'mineen fil Hadith, Abdullah ibn Mubarak radiyallahu anhu. Who was he? He was a student of Sayyidina Imam Abu Hanifa, Nu'man bin Thabit radiyallahu, Imam A'azam, Imam Abu Hanifa radiyallahu. What he used to do, 1 year he used to trade, right? Whatever he used to get, he used to distribute it to the ulama and students, which we don't even, if the ummah does that, if part of the ummah work 1 year and then spend it, there shouldn't be no jihala and no ignorance that is now haunting the Muslim ummah and cause so much of dissension is because of ignorance. Jihala. Right? Today everybody is a mufti. You read 2 books, he's a mufti. You read two words of the translation of the Quran, he's a mufassir. You can't speak to him. This is ignorance. Gross ignorance. Certified ignorance. Right? Sayyidina Amir al-Mu'mineen, Hazrat Umar radiyallahu ta'ala, spent over 10 years studying Surah Baqarah by the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Only Surah Baqarah. And when he completed his studies, he cut a camel in happiness, cooked food, and he fed all the people of Madinah Munawwara. Had celebration of studying Surah Baqarah by the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam over 10 years. Surah Baqarah. Who? Hazrat Umar radiyallahu anhu, about whom the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Law kana nabiyya ba'di wa kana Umar, walakin la nabiyya ba'di," or kama qala Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Had there been a prophet after me, it would have been Umar, but there is no prophets after me. Such what his status. But today we read 2 books, 2 pages. We know a lot. That is jahl. That's what Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has forecasted, that he predicted that this is going to be the situation, and it's getting worse. As I said before the Salatul Isha, this hadith is very important. I'd like you to learn this hadith as well. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to the Sahaba, speaking to the Sahaba, he says, amongst you there are more ulama and a few lecturers. Amongst you there are more ulama and less lecturers. Therefore, for you to leave out 1/10 of deen, if you leave out 1/10 of deen, you will perish. You will be destroyed. He say, a time will come on my ummah. A time will come on my ummah when there will be more lecturers and very few ulama. At that time, if the Muslim ummah hold fast to 1/10 of deen, they will get salvation. Allahu Akbar. There you leave out 1/10, you'll be perished. Here you make amal on 1/10 of deen, you'll be saved. You'll get salvation. Don't you think the time has arrived? Every Tom, Dick and Harry, every idiot has become a lecturer today. man doesn't even know how to pronounce the Quran al-Kareem properly, and he's standing up and giving lectures and talking absolute trash. He doesn't even know what he's speaking about, and people are mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. It compliments. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Kama takunu yuwalla alaykum." A ruler or leader will be put amongst you or be placed upon you according to your condition. If you're pious, Allah will give you a pious leader. You corrupt, Allah will give you a corrupt leader. If you corrupt people, Allah will give you a corrupt imam. So it depends on your condition. Kama takunu yuwalla alaykum. That is the hadith. The appointment of a leader amongst you will be according to your state. Okay, let's get on further. We're speaking about Amir al-Mu'minin fil Hadith, Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Mubarak radiyallahu ta'ala, student of Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam al-A'zam, Nu'man bin Thabit radiyallahu ta'ala, about whom it is said, Siraj al-Ummah, he is the lamp of Islam, the lamp of this Ummah, the light of this Ummah, Siraj al-Ummah. Allahu Akbar. رضي الله تعالى عنه. اللهم أيدنا بمدده، اللهم انفعنا بأنواره وعلومه وأسراره يا ربنا يا أرحم الراحمين. 1 year he used to trade, and whatever profits he used to get, he used to distribute it amongst the ulama, amongst the students, the destitute. Right? 1 year he used to go, he set out, next year I will perform Hajj. 1 year he'll earn, 1 year perform Hajj. 1 year he'll earn, 1 year perform Hajj. The year came to perform Hajj. He was in Basra. Basra was very near Hijaz, Al-Hijaz Al-Muqaddas, it is the boundary. So he was on his way for Hajj, and then he walked past a place, it's a dirty place, where there's mud and water, and then you get a muddy area. And he saw a lady, mahjoob with hijab, walking in that mud, going towards a dead duck that was lying, a rotten duck was lying in the mud. And she went and picked it up. He stopped. He was amazed and shocked. What is this woman doing? That duck is dead. And she's picking that up. He went, approached her with great adab. Right. He asked her, respected sister, what are you doing? You know what she replied? Mind your own business, you carry on, do what you want, I'm doing whatever I need to do. Don't interfere with my matter. And he was a man of spiritual perception. He was a great alim of deen, arif of Allah, wali. Imam Abu Hanifa student, Imam A'zam student, and no ordinary student. Give an example, extent of the student of Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Al-A'zam radiyallahu ta'ala. One of his favorite students was Hazrat Imam Muhammad al-Shaybani. Imam Muhammad al-Shaybani. Two famous students of Imam Abu Hanifa, who are known as Shaykhain in Islamic jurisprudence. Shaykhain, the two sheikhs, one was Imam Muhammad al-Shaybani, and the other was Imam Abu Yusuf al-Ansari radiyallahu ta'ala. When Imam Muhammad al-Shaybani came to join the class of Imam Abu Hanifa radiyallahu ta'ala, I'll just tell you how enlightened these people. Imam al-A'zam radiyallahu ta'ala, man of authority, he looked, he said, there's a new student. Asked him, who are you? He said, my name is Muhammad. So what you came here for? He said, I came to join your class. Came to study. Imam al-A'zam radiyallahu ta'ala asked him, are you Hafiz al-Quran? He said, no. He said, please get up. Go, first become al-Hafiz. No non-Hafiz sits in my class. Imam Muhammad al-Shaybani radiyallahu ta'ala was young. He got up, he went away. Imam Abu Hanifa warned him, don't come to my class if not Hafiz al-Quran. After 7 days he came and sat in the class again. Imam Muhammad al-Shaybani, after 7 days he came back and he joined the class. Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam al-A'zam radiyallahu ta'ala looked up, he said, this youngster is sitting again here.